Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Walker Ford in Clearwater, Florida, because guess what? We have it. This is the 2020 Expedition, but this is not like any other Expedition we featured for 2020 on Rady's Rides. This is the return of the King Ranch Expedition. But before we dive into this large, supersized SUV, let's talk about what the Expedition is to Ford. Now remember, Ford has eliminated all their passenger cars, except for the Mustang. This is the last year of the Ford Fusion. Other than that, that's it. You have SUVs, pickup trucks, and then go the Mustang or Shelby GT500 route. Now, with the King Ranch, big news is they're bringing back that great Western style and fine touches to the Expedition. What we start off with is basically an Expedition Limited, and then they're gonna pile on all that cowboy goodness to give you a unique style and interior feel that's gonna separate you from the rest of the ranch hands on the ranch that you live at. Now, one question I wanna try to answer with this particular review, should you go King Ranch or should you go down the street and get yourself into a Lincoln Navigator? So let's go ahead, dive in and see what the King Ranch is bringing to the farm. Right off the bat, love the styling of the Expedition, very bold, has such a presence to it. Now, when we're talking about headlight style, you're looking at this multi-LED beam headlight. I like the bright silver inside the headlight housing, and I think aesthetically, very pleasing how it integrates and locks in nicely with that chrome grille. Now, as we come across the grille, one thing you're gonna notice that's specific about the King Ranch is this stone gray metallic color trim. I really think it pops nicely, not only with the chrome, that's also part of the grille, but also our particular iconic silver Expedition. Now, as we drop down, we're gonna look over on the corner here. You're gonna have functional LED headlights, fog lamps, and you're getting functional side air curtains as well with some chrome trim that really shows that there's nothing fake there on the corner, and it gives you that nice fog light, LED fog light to really illuminate the road in front of you. Now, as we come across the lower section, styling wise, I like this open area that helps bring in cool air. We have some horizontal slots, and then if you notice, you're gonna get that same stone gray metallic cover on the bottom portion of the front fascia. That is an identifier that this is a King Ranch. Look for the very nice, subtle styling cues. It's just enough to make it look different, but not too much to where you're sticking out like a sore thumb. Of course, you're gonna have that forward-facing camera, help you navigate through the mall parking lot or through your ranch. And then as we pop up onto the hood, one-piece hood fits nicely with the top of the grille. I love the C-shaped or U-shaped indentation in the hood. Very, very bold. Like I said, when you come around the bend, what do we get King Ranch? When you go King Ranch, you're getting 22 inches of wheel pleasure. So you machine aluminum. I like the metallic gray. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this tire on this thing? You're looking at a 285 on the width and a 45 series sidewall. Of course, fully ventilated rotors, even like the amount of space. And if you notice, no flat black plastic. Classy, nice touch. Now, as we go into the fender, you have very, very strong, powerful line, very nice badging. It's nothing too much. That King Ranch, the logo there, it's the same logo you'll find on the wheels. We have our stone gray color on the mirror caps, a little bit of gloss black. And then one of my favorite things that I like about the side is that when you look at the trim around the windows, it's only along the bottom here. So you have this one piece that actually goes all the way around, nothing up top, gloss black. You have the stone gray roof rails with the crossbars, so you could mount just about anything on top of this. Chrome on the door handles, some chrome along the bottom, and then you're getting a little bit more stone gray on the bottom portion. Now, this being a King Ranch trim, when you open up the door, you have those automatic dropping running boards, and then you close the door. A few seconds later, they tuck right up nice and super clean. We keep working our way back. You can see the trim, the nice strong belt line, super sized on the rear quarter window, and I like the way the tinted glass blends in nicely with the rear pillar here. All aerodynamically efficient. You have a low roof spoiler, nice flow to the glass, flush Ford badge, and even the way they put the Explorer name, it's like they actually took a nice hot iron and stamped it Expedition across the back. King Ranch badging, just like on the fenders. And then as we drop down, you're gonna have that same stone gray finish across the bottom. It really makes this a nice cohesive package aesthetically with that extra color. Even the way the taillight design is shaped, LED brake lights, still looks tasteful. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and see what's powering this particular Expedition. All right guys, we got the hood pop. You do have hood struts. Underneath that hood is that 3.5 liter EcoBoost V6. So remember, when we hear EcoBoost, that means turbocharged. This engine is actually twin turbocharged. So you're looking at 375 horsepower, 470 pound-feet of torque. It's all routed through a 10-speed automatic transmission. You could tow up to 9,300 pounds with your Expedition. 0 to 60, 6.2 seconds. Fuel economy, 17 in the city, 24 on the highway. You'll be surprised with these EcoBoost engines, especially this particular 3.5, having those two smaller turbos. When you get on it, you're not going to be waiting a long time for that boost to build up. 0 to 60, 6.2 seconds, and a vehicle this size is quite respectable. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the interior and see what the King Ranch brings, especially if we're talking about the Lincoln Navigator as well. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Expedition, this particular one, the King Ranch. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I've been looking for a super size SUV for my family. I really like the style. I've been contemplating a Navigator, but hey, I'm glad the King Ranch is back. How much is this one? The way that it's optioned, MSRP is right at $74,900. Let's see what you get for the money. Now, when you go King Ranch, you're getting that beautiful dark brown Del Rio leather across the whole top there. The stitch work is beautiful, the nice silver trim. You do get the B&O sound system, and then check out that door pocket. You could get Kentucky Fried Chicken, a full bucket of chicken down there, and a couple of bottles of fresh squeezed milk from your favorite cow, and wash it all down. Now, as you come to the dash, soft material, the stitch work is great, even soft on the top door. Now, you have actually two glove boxes. You have your top one, you could put Snickers, Paydays, maybe a Heath bar or two, maybe even a Crunch bar. And then watch this, the glove box, you have your large area for your work gloves, and then you actually have a Twinkie shelf in there. So you can line up your Twinkies on your longer drives and just knock them back one at a time. You do have a 12 volt, and I like the way they give you a nice little lid there. 8-inch Sync 3 system. It is a little dated. I know they're coming out with Sync 4 very soon, but the great news is very, very easy to use. Navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You like cameras? We got cameras. You got your 360 camera. You have your camera out the front, which is a nice touch. I'll go ahead and put it in reverse. There's our backup camera, and you do have trajectory. And it's got the line for your trailer hitch if you're going to tow something with your Expedition. Radio controls, simple, easy to understand. You got a nice little slot over here for some breath mints. And then you have your dual climate control, heated steering wheel, heated seats, and ventilated seats. So they got you covered there. You have the beautiful wood veneer finish on your center console. I'll close this all up so you can see how nice and complete it is. The stitch work is great, and you even have a banana holder. If you don't like holding your banana in your hand, like you get bored with that, you can actually put the bananas in the side there. We open up door number one, wireless charging, USB-C and a USB. Close it back up, a little bit of silver trim. That's going to control your 10-speed automatic, and you do have different drive modes. I'll show you that when you come over the business end. Open up door number two, 2 cup holders, a couple more bottles of milk, freshly squeezed from your favorite cow. And then you have a little place for some milk duds. What's better than some milk duds and some milk? Because you know you're going to get the milk duds stuck in your teeth, so on a longer drive, by the time you get to your destination, you might have it out of your teeth after drinking some of that milk. But a nice little milk dud cubby. Here's your key fob. I'm going to zonk it. It's the standard key fob. It would be nice if it had the King Ranch logo. The great news is you have remote start. We could pop the rear hatch remotely, and you could panic yourself to death by hitting the panic button. There's our King Ranch logo in there, all that Del Rio leather, super soft. Open it up. I hope you like space. We have a party tray. Fill that up with some Pringles, and then you can literally put 2 footballs back here. So if you're a football fan and you got the pigskin, maybe you even made your own football. Maybe you're on the ranch and you made your own football out of some pigskin. You could put, and that sounds weird, doesn't it? But you could put those footballs in there, and there's a 12 volt, so you can warm up your pigskin. Who wants a cold football? Seats. Same great material, the King Ranch logo, perforated, the stitch work, 10-way adjustable for the passenger and the driver, and like I said, fully ventilated and heated. And then of course, no Expedition is complete without its panoramic sunroof, and you're gonna have plenty of sun for all of your cattle that's coming on in to your Expedition. Very, very nice, wide opening. I got plenty of headroom. I'm 6 feet tall. You're not gonna be, unless you are the Jolly Green Giant, which if you are, I'd like to meet you because I've been eating your vegetables ever since I was a kid. But if you're the Jolly Green Giant, it may be a little tight, but I'm 6 feet tall. I got plenty of room in here. Coming over the business end, I want to show you behind the wheel of this Expedition. All right, guys, business time, behind the wheel. I like the way they have the King Ranch logo on the sill. Nice aluminum panel, looks really good, very sharp looking. You're gonna have also on the door panel, 3 memory seat settings. So if you have 3 different ranch hands and you're sharing your Expedition King Ranch, each can have their own memory seat setting. Controls are easy to get to. You got the lower lumbar after a hard day of work, doing some lassoing. Maybe you're riding some bulls or something. You could get that lower lumbar kicking. Steering wheel, nice thing is they wrapped it in that same brown Del Rio leather, super soft, stitched just like your favorite signed Babe Ruth baseball. Horn button is a zonk. This area is a zonk. It's dated and it's really showing its age. The good news is it's easy to use and it's flat black, so you're not gonna get fingerprints everywhere. Dash, another thing that's very easy to use. You have an analog tach, analog speedometer, nice large digital display. You get all your coolant, your oil pressure, all that good stuff. And then watch this. You actually have different drive modes as well. So we got normal, snow and wet, tow and haul, sport, and then eco. So that really allows you to kind of tailor the whole driving experience no matter what you're doing. If you want to be a little eco-friendly and you're hugging some palm trees, maybe you're hugging a Christmas tree or two, you could go in eco mode. Or, you know, if things get slippery and wet, put it into wet mode. You'll be safe. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the mid-row and see how your passengers are going to be loving life living on the big farm. All right, guys, mid-row time in the King Ranch. And I'm telling you right now, when you're comparing this to a Lincoln Navigator, it's going to be a challenge because there's so many nice finishes in here. And of course, you're going to get the same great amount of room. Now, they took the leather all the way around. Nice large pockets. You could put a back scratcher in there, maybe some rope if you're going to go lassoing or whatnot. Maybe even some boots and some spurs you could fit in there. We have a nice command center, and I'm going to make sure that that's all the way back. A nice little command center. Put a couple bottles of milk here for the people in the back. 2 USBs, a home power source, AC controls, heated seats, but no ventilated seats. So that's going to be a zonk. Nice little holder for some Twinkies back here. Some nice chocolate cowboy Twinkies. And then guess what? Seats, thank you, Ford. They listened. Nice wide on the captain's chair. You could flip them up, which is great. Plenty of headroom. I got the AC vents nicely up high instead of just cooling my ankles. And then here's the best part. You could ride that bucking Bronco the whole drive because these seats slide. And if you're tired after a hard day at work, now we're talking. So you're definitely getting flexibility to have your passengers be as comfortable as possible. I just wish that there was some ventilated seats, so that's gonna be a zonk. But when we get to that third row and see if your passengers back there are gonna be happy campers. All right, guys, third row time. Real simple, you just lift up and look how nice the seat gets out of the way. You have your running board as your first step, and then you have a nice amount of real estate to put your foot nice and planted, and it's plastic. So if you have any mud on your boots, you can kind of kick it off outside. Not gonna get on the carpet. Climb on in. I'll slide all the way over just to give you an idea. So here's the seat all the way back. This mid-row seat is slid all the way back and I still got leg room. My knees are at a nice bend. They're not up in my mouth. I have rear AC back here, which is great. You got cup holders, USBs, and a place for some Doritos, Western style. You press the button, look at this. Power, tilt there a little bit. Just enough to give you a little bit extra, but I like the way they have the USBs. Why don't we get all these seats folded down and see how much space you have for your stuff in this Expedition. All right, guys, cargo space time. What's great is that on the Expedition, you have the ability to lift the glass. Not a lot of SUVs allow you that easy flexibility. If you go shopping, you can just put your groceries in there, 1, 2, 3, close it up. And then to open it, you're gonna hit the lower button, real quick acting. good amount of space. You have LED lighting back here. Victor's gonna kind of show you what you have with that third row up, and then we're gonna put these rows down. Now, the nice thing is that if you don't like manual controls, you do have just regular seat controls here to hit. So there's one, and then we're gonna hit this one touch, and the seats go down. I've seen quicker, but still for electric assist, they are on the quicker side. I put down the right passenger, now I'm gonna put down the other. Boom. You're looking at over 100 cubic feet of space. If you get kicked out of the house, kicked off the ranch, get yourself a mattress, or if you need to get an inflatable mattress, you can get that too. This is a mobile apartment. Or if you're just like, listen, housing has gotten so expensive, just buy yourself the Expedition, and then you can live right out of it. But if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's giddy up, partner, and take this King Ranch for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 Ford Expedition King Ranch. We're talking about, should you go all new King Ranch? They brought it back. Should you do that, or should you go Lincoln Navigator? Are you getting more for your hard-earned money in this Expedition? Right away, I think the biggest plus that you're gonna love is that even if you're not a Western type of person, the way that they did the interior, it just is very classy. I'm digging the darker brown, that Del Rio leather setup with the stitch work. Let's do a little acceleration. On throttle, the 10-speed drops down, plenty of power, up to speed very, very quickly, nice fast shifts, and I think that's one of my favorite things about this Expedition is that EcoBoost twin turbo V6. Plenty of power. It would be nice to have 400 horsepower, make it just a nice even 400, or let's go 450 just like the Raptor. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, but definitely where you're gonna win is on the interior. Not only the space, not only the usability, but the great finishes in here. The armrest is super, super soft. The top of the door panel is super soft. I like the way they even brought the same color leather onto the steering wheel. Connectivity is easy to navigate through with the Sync system, the Sync 3 system, and even the wood trim, the veneer wood trim, very, very classy. Visibility, you're king of the road in this King Ranch. Visibility out the back is super clear. Side mirrors are tasteful, and I think that they did just enough to make the exterior stand out in a King Ranch way, where you're not gonna just stick out like a sore thumb. B&O sound system, I mean, I think for the price, if you're comparing this to Navigator, you're definitely getting a lot more for the price point. All right, guys, one of the things you're gonna love about this Expedition is getting out on the highway is easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Get on throttle, you just merge, and then you use your awesome mirrors to really just navigate nicely into the lane that you want, and you're up to speed. Super smooth, nicely planted. When you go King Ranch, just know that you're also getting extra sound deadening, thicker glass, as you would on a Navigator. And I think the room for your passengers in the back is gonna be, they're gonna really love you. You know, if you wanna get better gifts from the people that you drive around for the holidays, like say a Christmas gift or a birthday gift, get one of these because they're gonna love you. Everywhere you take them, they're gonna love you more because they're gonna be very, very comfortable. The only zonk I have for that mid-row is there's no ventilated seats. I think at this price point, there should be ventilated seats. Because guess what? We have driven cheaper SUVs here on Rady's Rides, less expensive SUVs that did have ventilated mid-row seats. But other than that, it really is hitting every nail on the head. Very nicely done. Even going in tight spaces here, like navigating on the street. Let's see how she handles. On throttle, on the brakes. Look at this. You could be the transporter in your Expedition. You don't need an Audi. Look at this, round and round, back on throttle, and we're off and running. That Range Rover almost went off-road there, up front, kind of cool. But really, you get up to speed nice, and you got plenty of room for your whole neighborhood. So you could take them to the store, take them to the mall, take them to a soccer game. You got plenty of room in here, and plenty of room for your balls. So you don't have to hold on to your balls anymore. There's plenty of containers and places to put them, which is great. And you keep them safe. But let's see how we handle. Look at this. Is this a Mustang GT? No, this is a King Ranch. all the way around, back on throttle, drift it out. Great steering input, really, really smooth. You got the different driving modes, which are really great. I have it in sport mode right now, obviously. But just all the way around, a very versatile, full-size SUV. I definitely would buy one of these over a 2020 Tahoe or even a Yukon. Now, 2021s aren't out yet, so we'll have to wait and see what that's all about. But I think for the price, this is definitely a winner if you're looking for that full-size SUV and you don't want a bare bones base one. But we're gonna go ahead and get back to the ranch over at Walker Ford and wrap this one up. So I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, been another great day here at Walker Ford. Definitely gotta thank Frank Walker, Weston Walker, Tracy, Benji, Mark, Austin, Jason, Greg. Everybody here is so wonderful, so accommodating. Nice to see a very popular badge, that King Ranch. You could wear that badge like a belt buckle on this Expedition. I think if you're really tossing it up, the idea between this or a Navigator, I think for the money, you're definitely getting a lot more. Plus you're getting some of that unique identity, that exterior touches, and definitely that Del Rio leather on the interior. This may be the one to get over a Navigator. But if it's SUVs that you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description. Get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Victor. He's working this thing just like riding a bull. And he's actually a very, very popular bull rider. So thank you, Victor, for taking time from your busy schedule and filming with us. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.